Agents, hi, it's Brandon Green, and today is Friday, February 1st, and I wanted to take just a couple minutes and talk to you about communication and rapport. Obviously, the market is really accelerating at a fairly rapid pace right now, particularly with multiple offers and a lot of buyers really trying to get in. And what tends to happen when stress builds is rapport declines. I mean, we all know to a certain extent you need to have pretty decent rapport anyway to build a relationship that you want in order to have a successful transaction with the client. Though I'd like you to consider that having an elevated level of rapport will really make a difference in your business. Last week I was in Texas at a conference where I learned a lot about some very specific elements of rapport and how we actually know when we have rapport. And I wanted to share a couple statistics with you that were very powerful for me. One is, if you look at rapport in general, only 7% of rapport comes from words. Now, I'd like you to think for a moment, what percentage of your communication is actually words? And you'll probably say it's a really high percentage of communication, particularly if you use email. And yet, only 7% of our communication actually makes it through to the other person if you're only using words. The next is 38% is in tonality. I think we've all experienced that, where we can hear in the other person's tone what their intention is, no matter what the words actually are. So 38% is tonality. And then 55% is physiology. How you actually show up and how somebody perceives you physically is 55% of communication and solid rapport. So I challenge you to look at the different ways you're communicating and choose which method you're actually going to use at any given time. Email, I think, is one of the most difficult ones. You know, I had an experience just last week where I sent an email with a very specific intention that was perceived in an entirely different way, and it created a lot of challenges for me for several days. So as you look at your relationships with your clients, ask yourself, what is the level of rapport you're building? How are you communicating? And are you using mostly words via email? Are you talking to them and bringing in 38% tonality? And how often are you actually seeing them to bring in the 55%, which is physiology? I suspect if you pay attention to this, you'll have better results this spring. See you next time.